So good news, woke up this morning, still in Milan, and we leave tomorrow. And I've been waiting to hear back from an agency here that I got connected through from one of the contacts from the runway show that I'm here for. Timing worked out, they can see me, so we're on the way to the agency right now. We're just gonna grab a quick coffee, and yeah, hopefully it'll go good. Hopefully they'll be interested in working together, and yeah, you'll know in a few.
So will you know today if they want to sign?
It's possible that I could find out today if they'd want to sign me or not. Yeah, most likely, like in person, you usually find out like day of. They don't usually say they're going to think about it when they want to discuss it as a whole team. So yeah, it's not always like that, I suppose. But in my experience, the times I can remember, they told me on the spot. You never know. It's always different. So it'd be great to get signed in this city, just because I don't know. I'm getting a couple more agencies behind me that are international, and if I'm going to come across the world, I might as well, you know, while I'm on extended stay, be able to go north, south, in between, and make the most of the trip, and get culture shock along the way. It's so much fun. So we're just getting some espresso before I meet with the agency that's just a few steps that way. And the realities are that I'm just having an allergy attack right now. And I don't feel like I'm in the best shape. And yeah, just things that are going through my head that I wish I felt more prepared for, but you just have to roll with it and have a good attitude. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I have my iPad, my bag that's going to have my portfolio in it and everything ready to go, so that when I get in there, they can kind of see my book. I recommend getting like an iPad Pro or something that has like a really big screen if you're going to do a tablet. It just has way more impact. And just make sure that you are good about taking inventory on what images are in there and keeping it very current. Your agencies, if you are signed, obviously have predetermined choices for their book that they have for you, but I like to have one on my iPad that's ready to go, that has a certain collection of shots in a certain order. Other than that, we're just kind of stressing a little bit because our flight tomorrow is at like 8:30 a.m. and when you're in Milan, you gotta take a train to get to the airport.
It's like an hour away.
And it's an hour away, and then you want, for international travel, you want to get there a couple hours early at least. And with our train experience here, sometimes they run late, and if the train runs late and we miss a flight, I'm screwed, because we have to get to Portland for me to be able to shoot the very next morning to start with this 3-day shoot. And before I do that, also I have to find a barbershop right now, because the client always likes me clean shaven, and I need a fresh haircut too. So a lot to do and think about, just juggle, pack, and everything. We'll probably be in bed by like 7 p.m. tonight if we can help it.
We have to get there super early.
Yeah, super early.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
You guys saw our travel experience on the way here. It was just like
a nightmare.
We cannot have that happen again.
Seriously.
There's nothing. No.
Wish us luck. So with the Milan market, like before I even came, I was like, well, Italian fits are pretty slim, like pretty tight. So you need lean guys, you need a lot of young guys, because you're doing runway, and the measurements in general are pretty small for a guy like me that's more like a man versus a young guy. So I'm not like super shocked, honestly. But he was so nice to tell me about other agencies that he thinks I could be a good fit for before we, leave tomorrow, and to just show up possibly. So the thing is that there's no point. We both agreed to sign with an agency and then just have a card on the wall and just sit there on the roster and collect dust. It's no good for anybody, because it's a business at the end of the day. So for me, him being honest and saying, these are the type of clients we serve, this is what they ask for. Although he's like, I really like you, I think you have a great face, great body, and you could do well in this market still. He's like, these agencies would actually probably be a better fit because we, as an agency, we're known to provide this type of model that looks like this. So that's what they're going to come to us for. Tons of editorial, runway, all that stuff. So I'm not necessarily that guy. I can do it, but I'm better suited for commercial stuff, anything that's like borderline fitness, and then the silver realm, which is like guys with gray beards and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna go try to meet with those agencies if we can find them and see the hours and just show up. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Just having a quick lunch before going to hopefully meet with one or possibly two more agencies. Just called them on the phone and was able to at least get one lined up right now, called Fashion, and yeah, the contact at the last agency was nice enough to refer me, so well, let's see how it goes. So just got done with meeting with the second agency this afternoon, and it went really good. I think they were so busy that they were literally just taking in anyone that they, thought was worth investigating, I should say. They seemed like, by taking a glance at me, they introduced me to the next person, until the director saw me. And I could kind of tell from the body language that we're trying to hail a taxi right now to get to the next agency. I could tell by their body language and everything that they definitely seemed interested. So we took digitals outside, which is basically, thanks for trying, babe. She's trying to, here's a guy over here. What about that guy? So yeah, it seemed like the amount of time they had me up there with how busy they were, they took down a lot of my information. If they weren't interested, they just wouldn't have spent that much time. Something to note is for etiquette, you don't just want to show up to an agency unless you have a referral or a contact name of some kind, because they're really like strict about it. Even when we came to the reception, they're like, who is the name? I need to know the exact name. And then now we're on a third agency to meet with, and I called to make sure I could come, and they actually called the contact that I said was the referral to confirm it while I was on the phone. So it's pretty crazy, because they probably get so many models just trying to sneak their way in and be dishonest. So yeah, you really can't like get too upset about any type of rejection when you're meeting with agencies, because the thing is it's about finding the right fit. So most of the time they're just looking out for the overall business side of it, because there's just no point if they have three other guys or something that look just like you. So I think that with persistence, I'll be able to sign with someone in Milan very soon. It'll just be a matter of the right roster and the right fit. My Cape Town agency has been amazing because of their established relationships with other agencies worldwide. They make introductions for me. So if you can at least get with one agency, you can then ask them if they'd be willing to place you in another territory that isn't conflicting. So that really helps once you at least get one contact, one name, maybe befriend another model to get you at least a go-see is a start. Okay, just got to major models, and I'm just gonna head up the elevator. And not sure what to expect.
In the stillness somewhere above, the city lights, you're falling in love.
Yeah, it's interesting how that like dynamic works, because although LA Models is like LA County, that territory, because they're my mother agency, a lot of stuff needs to run through them to kind of, I don't know, give me the green light to do other things. But I don't tend to work like that all the time, because they're a big agency and they're amazing, but at the same time, I can't bother them with everything under the sun. Like, he asked if I booked the Billionaire show out here, the Runway show, through them, and I said no, because with bookings like that, Runway you don't get paid a ton for Runway, and to tax them to try to figure out my flights and deal with the whole booking process for the percentage of money they get, it's not worth it. So anyways, there's certain etiquette that you should think about though, but I would recommend if you are signed to always check in with your mother agency just to be sure. Even in hindsight, I maybe should have just to be sure, because I didn't even realize how connected my agency was worldwide, and they know everyone. So it would have been to my benefit. So I'm still learning as I go as well. So we'll see when I hear back. I would imagine it'll just be a few days, and I'll know at least something. So fingers crossed.
And when you're on that tightrope,